Hi, in this video, these talking hands are going to tell you a story featuring two GPUs and AMD. As you can see in the background, AMD the server are looping and Memtuna shows it's everything okay. Training passed, no failed channels detected, but the card is not working, and when it driver boot up, it shows green screen. So that's AMD. This card was returned for the client without repairing, as the costs will be the same as the other card costs. Okay, so let's get back to this MSI 3070. This video was made in 2025 October, I think. And the problem is that as you can see in VMT showing that there is a miscontact on the A0 channel, and as we know, this can be either VRAM, either Core, or either contact between Core and VRAM. After inspection all this thing around, I found no knocked components, but we can see that the data code on the VRAM is different from the rest, so it was changed. And I asked the client, he confirmed that this card already survived another service. I found the stickers on the box, I know in which service it was. It's we can see that its welding soldering job was done quite good. The card is clean. So my idea now is to check contacts under the GPU, under the core, and there is everything seems fine. And after reballing, I believe that the card will work again. I also took away the VRAM chip and go to the reballing. By the way, you can see that my wick is cut in small pieces. I do this because if to use from the whole spool, it heats everything. Then it oxidizes, and the solder sticks to it as promises stick to the politicians. And you have to cut it anyway, so I cut it first and then throw away. So the board is clean. As we can see, the core was not reballed before. Giving a little bit more heat with the hot air gun, so the soldering goes out easier. In this case, for reballing I'm using ASUS Flux. 200 milliliters jar costs about as full tank of gas in these days, but I like ASUS. And if someone will tell that ASUS is shit, my answer to this is that I would rather smell certified German shit than some cheap Chinese shit. So aligning the stencil with core, putting some balls, shaking once, shaking twice, shaking 3, and that's stop. You know, if you shake more than 3 times, it means you are playing with yourself. So now arranging the balls. There are some missing balls, some excessive balls, and then applying heat. Actually, there is no such more talking on these works. It's everything so simple and clear that there is not a lot of comments. By the way, look, ERSA is wet, then it dries, and the balls go perfect to their places. So reball is done. You can see the quality. The mess is minimal. I like this very much. Measuring some independences. The board is still hot, so let's try after some time. All resistances look normal. First of all, I start the card from the laboratory supply, power supply. Shines a lightning, there is no shorts. Assembling the card and running the mats. The problem still remains. The A0 channel is faulty. So the problem is the board or core itself. At this moment, I don't know. I don't know what is wrong. I'm sure that VRAM is perfectly good. So I started checking the contacts between core and you can see the failing bits, and I checked all of them and there was nothing suspicious, and only the 1/4 of the VRAM was not working. So took off the VRAM, checked the contacts. Again, small wick. For me, it's very rare problem that PCB board is damaged. So I would say it's about 80% core problem and 20% PCB problem. So measuring everything. But at this time I don't have another card to put the core on and to test it. After measuring all contacts, data contacts is okay, but this clock contact is not working. So probably this was the main problem why the errors occurred. And let's say after 4 months I received this card. This is ASUS 3070. The old MSI card I put away. Client left me as a donor board, as I expected that the core is 80% dead. So client decided to leave it for me, and it was lying a long time while came this card. As you can see, this card is after mining and after cleaning with the toothbrush or teeth brush, the parts SMD components started fell falling away from the board. So to repair this card makes no sense, as I will not be able to give the warranty, and the client is not keeping the card for himself, he is reselling it. And the funniest thing is that this ASUS and the MSI that you saw, both clients, they know each other, they are colleagues. So I told them, agree between yourself, and I will put this Core from ASUS on the MSI, and we will have a happy threesome. I will be happy to get money for the work. MSI will be happy to get money back for his card, and ASUS guy will be happy to have working card. They agreed between each other, so I started work. And taking away this compound, ASUS compound around the core. And now the aim is, we know that this board will not be used never again, so I put straight it on the heating, and you can see the top two is already reballed or changed or done something with top two VRAMs. There is flux. So this board will not be used anymore, so I take everything what's most valuable from it. Again, reballing. And we will put on the MSI board. I'm not sure if we are repairing this or am I repairing this, because if there is a good result, then I am repairing this, and if we have negative results, so then we have negative result. But let's hope for the best. Again, cleaning with wick. Cleaning the table. Aligning the stencil. My eyes are not so good anymore, so I'm always using microscope. New balls, this time shaking once. Aligning the balls. It's again ERSA flux. If you are same type business, you can buy ERSA flux in ERSA shop somewhere in Germany. I do not sell ERSA. I do not resell ERSA. Okay, balls come to their places. By the way, okay, by the way, will be later. So now this is the old card from MSI guy with this A0 problem. About, by the way, so do you know why the truck driver, when he comes out after long ride, he is kicking the tire? Because he wants the balls to stick away from the leg. That's my joke from the 10 years of working in transport business. Okay, so disassembling all this, what was assembled. As you remember, this one was changed. Of course you remember because you saw it 10 minutes ago. Putting these holders in the places. I saw one guy on the internet is doing the same, and let's say 90% of his work is successful, so I think it's because these holders. And I'm doing the same, so you could see the chip before the how you call it, you know, bubble bath for the electronics. So before bubble bath for electronics and after bubble bath, it clean, looks as new. So MSI removed, again cleaning everything. Cleaning the old flux with the new flux. And when it looks like clean, put the core. The thing is that core from ASUS is not LHR, low hash rate or light hash rate, and the core from MSI was LHR. As you can see, this before heating it was looked like more dirty. Now it's after heating, air's evaporated and the core gets cleaner. That's the final result. So while the card is still hot, we need to change this, refresh the BIOS. Of course, after reballing the measurements, but it must be connected one to the ground, not to the nowhere. Everything seems fine. Let's power up and see if there is no short. 1.6 amperes on the hot board, it's okay, it's normal. Assembling the card. And do we have a winner? No, we don't. So from these 20 minutes for you and 5 hours for me, it's clear that the problem is on the textile, on the PCB. So we'll have to go to do something else. Then I found that I have 3060 Ti with dead core. It's also MSI. I'm not sure if it's Ventus or gaming, but the backplate the same, the brackets the same, even the PCB looks like the same. Maybe 3070 fan radiator is bigger, but we can use bigger radiator on this, as the holes for the screws are the same. So let's compare. It's you can see only missing one power rail on 3060 Ti. We are missing one Dr. Moss, but it's as the power consumption is almost the same, so it will be not a problem for 3060 Ti board to drive 3070 Core. If you take a closer look, it's Hynix on the board, but the problem of this board is not the Hynix. All the resistances on this card is perfect, but the core is dead. I bought this card as donor from one service, expecting that they are not watching YouTube and they don't know about the Hynix problems, but it seems I was wrong and they were right about this core dead problem. So the board is clean. Let's power it up and check all the voltages if it's suitable for new heart. Everything seems fine. So before soldering the core, looking at the straps, how it looks like on 3070 and comparing to the board on 3060. But the straps probably, I don't remember already exactly how it looks like, but it's because the difference is only in the VRAM. Strap does not show which core is on the board. It's detected the core itself. He introduces to the card what's on the card. So I moved straps. Checking very carefully any more differences. There was only 2 resistors. So abracadabra, everything in their places, everything soldered, reflashing the BIOS chip, and voila, we have at least the card is detected. A0 is clean, but C0 C1 has problems. After checking which failing bits, I decided to reflow this chip, because maybe there was too less flux. So little bit more flux, little bit move, and then assemble. You see the final result. It's better than fabric. So assembling everything back plate from 3070, the cooling system, only the PCB from 3060 Ti. Card is recognized. Let's connect HDMI cable. The card shows the picture. And then test. Benchmark. TDP is 100% almost, plus minus. then 3 the mark. FPS about 30, it's normal for 3070 cards. As you can see, the temperatures are normal, 99.2%, it's almost like new. One done, one happy client. So let's back to this ASUS. I found a ASUS TUF PCB board. I put everything from all the ASUS Dual and checking 1.68 amperes. It's normal. The board is still hot. I did not show already this how I was reballing it. I'm using always using good thermal paste, because then you don't need to clean it very carefully, and it does not cost a lot of. So this showed it's a zero problem. Long test, it's a zero. It's again because using as less flux as possible to keep the PCB clean. But that was not the case. This was the case that one resistor is missing, and I'm already making this video as short as possible because it already takes too long, and all this reballing, I think it's not easy. You saw it a lot of time. So also there you can see around the VRAM they are reballed and there is no flux around them, so trying to make it also clean, as much clean as possible. I think the biggest quality of the work is when the card is clean as from the factory. Quickly checking NVMe. NVMe is clean. Mats run perfectly. Card is detected. Let's check HDMI. HDMI is working. TDP, let's look, it's 100%, and the card on ASUS is working a little bit better than MSI, but it's maybe because ASUS, his clock is, I saw that ASUS is giving bigger clocks on GPU. Okay, 99.5 passed. Then test. So now we have, at the end of this video, yes, we have happy end for all of 3 2 repaired cards. One AMD went, I don't know where, to trash bin probably. So if you like, please like it as you like it. If you dislike it, please press dislike button twice. Okay, and see you next time. We will repair something next time. Thank you.